Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. You can probably tell by the attire I'm wearing that it's time for another Meltdown video. Well, you guessed it, you're right. And this is a very much requested video. We're revisiting the VEPR 545x39. You guys remember Chase up at Definitive Arms did a conversion through Copper Customs, and they brought it down. Tim and the guys came down, and we ended up having an issue. And remember, that was the one where the bolt got gummed up with all of the primer sealant, and that ended up being what killed the gun the first time. Was basically that sealant melted its way back into the firing pin channel, gunked up the firing pin, and the gun seized up, and that's what stopped it. So we're thinking that might have been an ammunition-related issue. A lot of people were kind of adding theories as to what they thought could remedy the situation. So what we opted to do, drudgingly, I broke open some 7.6, so we were able to crack open some genuine military issue 7.6 ammunition. So we're going to use the proper service ammunition through the VEPR, magazines in the same order, and we're going to give her another shakedown and see how well it does. I've got some high hopes for this, and hopefully with the change of ammunition, we'll see if we get a much better result. So without further ado, I think we're going to get after it here. So let's do it. Time to kill it. All right, guys. Let's see if we can't burn her up. VEPR 545x39. Here we go. And one thing I want to mention, this gun's already had about 800 rounds. This is the same gun from the first video. Here we go. Oh, baby. This never gets old. All right. Get those fireballs, baby, yeah! Baby! I think it's running, boys and girls. What do you think? I tell you one thing, that 7.6 ammo, it's got a good sound to it. Somebody call the fire chief. I love it. Thanks, pal. Something happened.
Something popped.
Ooh, the barrel went. Hang on, let me clear it in case there's one in the chamber. You see the chamber? Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Clear. Well, she went. That barrel, the barrel blew right at the gas block. Did we get through the same amount of rounds? That was pretty close to the original round count, wasn't it? Let's reassess the situation, shall we? So Tim, what happened?
The gun go boom, and it went boom in a very, that's awkward, strange way. It looks like the bullet exited, yeah, we might as well take that empty magazine out of the rifle. The bullet exited the side of the barrel underneath the forward grip retainer. So,
yeah. The barrel failed right there.
Right there, right before the gas block,
That was weird. Because in the slow-mo, you can see kind of like a weird puff come out of the back of the action. And then, boom, the barrel went and let go. So it's like, we're almost wondering maybe if, you know, maybe we had an actual like round failure, like maybe a separation of the jacket from the core.
Yep.
Because, you know, that 7.6 has, you know, a mild penetrator in it.
Right.
So maybe that core came apart and left the jacket behind, and then there was like a pressure spike right there or something.
So yeah, so we did call Chase. We have Ray here. We were looking at it. We took a look down the barrel, trying to figure out why it would fail here. It makes sense if you take a look at thermal images of guns when they're being fired. A lot of heat is generated, even on direct gas impingement guns and on piston guns right here. And previously, this gun had been through, what, an 800 round torture test before it got gummed up on the firing pin?
Yeah.
And so it already had 800 rounds to the barrel. Could have been a weakness created in the barrel where this handguard retainer is actually really tightly pressed onto the barrel.
Right.
So there could have been damage to the barrel already from the previous test, and then this test, the 7.6 may have had, like you were saying, the bullet separated and the penetrator separated because something came out the side of the barrel.
You know, to be clear, just so you guys know, these are hammer forged barrels on these VEPRs, so pretty good quality barrels. I mean, I know a lot of people, you know, like hammer forged. Some people might have their preference, but, you know, the VEPRs have been pretty solid, you know, guns. I mean, the 7.62 by 39 version held up really well. The 5.45 went through 2 iterations where the round count was pretty similar, so I would say it's a relatively repeatable result considering how hot we got it that first time around.
Right.
I mean, it fared pretty well.
799, we went, what, 692?
Yeah, so what was the round count for this time?
So this one was 692, I believe.
Okay.
So my phone has to Face ID, sorry. But I did take pictures. So on our first one, 692 on this one. So 692 rounds fired in this video.
Yeah.
Then you did 799 in the previous.
Yeah.
So there's a total of, this gun being torture tested, of 1,491 rounds.
Not bad.
Through the barrel, 2 separate occasions though. So we had a failure at 800 rounds roughly, and then in this one we had a failure at roughly 700.
You know, this result really surprised me. And the reason it surprised me so much is because, you know, you've got that heavy weight barrel on this particular gun, like an RPK style, you know, weight barrel, right? Mm-hmm. Basically like a heavy barrel. So when you have the diameter of a 5.45 projectile being smaller, then your barrel thickness going from 7.62 to 5.45 is going to be a lot thicker. So with the thicker barrel, you would think that it would dissipate heat a little bit better. Maybe it wouldn't have the tendency to want to droop quite as bad. You know, maybe the barrel would hold up a lot longer with continuous heat, but
I'm seeing droop in this barrel.
Yeah.
So there's droop in this barrel, guys. When you look down this thing, it's droop just like the 7.62 by 39.
Pretty dang hot, man.
And you can, like Eric's saying, guys, this is a thick RPK style barrel. This isn't your average lightweight AK barrel.
Yeah.
And it is hammer forged and it is chrome lined. So it's really kind of surprising to see it fail here.
Now what about the finish? Let's spray some oil on the finish.
So this is what's kind of cool, guys. So this finish isn't a factory finish. This is a finish that's done. Get your hearing protection out of the way. My phone out of the way.
It don't matter.
But this is
Billy Mays here.
for $6.99. So this is the finish that Chase applies over at Definitive Arms, and just put some oil on it.
It held up pretty good, didn't it?
It's still, the park is still there.
Yeah.
So you can see where the fire started, but that's not an unfinished barrel.
Yeah.
It's got that crystalline structure to it.
I think what's going to happen here, and I'm gonna sort of just offer this caveat. I think that Chase is going to have to like break this thing apart, rebuild it crazy, and we go again. And this time, because remember we did the Mutant, and the Mutant went like 1255 in one go. Now getting from like DI to direct gas impingement to a piston system. Obviously, that some people are like, "Oh, DI is bullcrap."
Love it.
We've seen that DI holds up really well as an operating system. So why don't we meet in the middle? And the next set of meltdowns that we do, instead of running the longer barrel, let's run like a 10 or 12-inch barrel and see how well it holds up. And that way, it's a more direct comparison to the Mutant. And then we'll put it to bed for once and for all. At that point.
It's both gas systems have their benefits. I've always been a fan of the direct gas impingement. The only problem with if you maintain your DI gun, the highest wear point, or the highest wear item, I think, one of the highest wear items is the gas tube itself. So I've actually had gas tubes rupture on me before on machine guns. But that's after thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds. It's a simple part to replace. You drive out one pin and you just replace, it's a $10 part.
Yeah, but your barrel doesn't die though.
But your barrel doesn't die.
Right.
So the DI has its benefits. The AK, you have the piston and the long throw piston, which gives you perhaps more reliability, but I can't say that I've seen
any more longevity out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting to see the two run so hard side by side, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, sort of.
Not on the same day, but
yeah, maybe not on the same day. But I think the big thing too about AKs, a lot of people, and this video is not meant to be long or get into this subject too much, but I think that also AKs are meant to be mass manufactured, mass produced. You know what I mean? And when you have a mass produced gun, I guess from the standpoint of the way they're building them, it's almost like, all right, if something breaks on it, just give the soldier a new gun and throw the other one in the scrap bin. It's like they're made to just be built and mass produced and handed out and used. And then when they don't lend themselves well to like barrel changes and component changes. Like they're a manufactured item that's built that way and not, you know what I mean? They were never really intended to be customizable.
It's using technology that was developed in the World War II era, where they were trying to mass produce weapons because machining is time intensive, it's expensive, and tooling costs and all that stuff. And the whole process of doing sheet metal stampings was to reduce cost and increase productivity, so you could get more weapons into the field. So that's why we saw the Germans doing it and other countries doing it, and that's why it persists even to today. You see a lot of modern weapons still using stampings, even though we're seeing more and more polymers, which would be interesting to see what something like an ACR does. It's I
think that's something we're going to go down the rabbit hole later. But for now, definitely I can say that this VEPR held up pretty dang good. I mean, I'm impressed with it. It's unfortunate that these things are like difficult to get and they're just not common anymore like they used to be. I remember when these rifles used to be so cheap.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you could just go back in time and buy like, several of them as an investment or whatever. I mean, it's like hindsight's always 20/20 when it comes to like, you never know what's going to happen with this kind of stuff.
Literally, if you go to buy a VEPR right now, you're looking at about $1,400, $1,500 bucks.
They're expensive.
And that's
almost
about $1,000.
Oh, prohibitively expensive.
If we used a brand new one, we probably get run off the internet.
Yeah. Guys, thanks for watching today's video, and Tim, thanks for coming and hanging out with us, pal.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Hey, nice smock.
Hey, yeah, I like this. Look, it fits.
Yeah, it does fit, oddly enough. So we've been getting questions, real quick, we've gotten a couple questions about this smock here. This is an actual 1984 Red Dawn movie prop from the original film Red Dawn, and in the scene where, the Cuban paratroopers are jumping in, these are the smocks they're wearing. So oddly enough, it fits Tim, which is really crazy.
Which is why I want it really bad.
Must have been a really big, tall
big dude.
Yeah, big Cuban.
One of the tallest Cubans they could find, probably.
I guess.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Yeah, it is a nice shirt. Yeah, these shirts are really not available anymore, but maybe they will be. If you look closely, maybe you'll find some more of them. Guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. We hope you enjoyed yourselves and maybe learned a little bit of something. That's a really interesting result. I love my VEPRs, whether it's a 545, 7.62x39. They're great guns. They hold up wonderfully. They are really like, in terms of just the kind of, I wouldn't even call them entry level, but in terms of just the basic kind of what you see is what you get type, AK type gun, I mean, they really are really nice.
Yeah, I like VEPRs quite a bit.
They do. Well, guys, thanks for watching again, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for the support. I know I can take a moment here briefly to tell you all thank you also. I mean, I know a lot of folks support Mac on Patreon. A lot of folks support us on Patreon, and both of us, I can speak for Tim when I say both of us really appreciate all of your support. It's what allows people like Tim to come and work with people like me and put out content for people like you. And I appreciate all my Patreon supporters, and I also appreciate all the people that support Tim, because it allows Tim to do what he's doing now.
Please don't just support us, support other channels that you guys see out there that are on Patreon, because our relationship with YouTube is kind of tenuous. We never know if we're going to have a channel from one day to the next, and they demonetized us a long time ago. So
that's right. You guys are great. Hey, thanks for watching today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.